was harsh, but he definitely got their attention, did he not? Can you imagine the devastation that they had and the fear that was going through them? We're going to starve to death. If we're not filleted by the Assyrians, we're going to die. And it motivated them to want to change the way that they live. Much like the children of Israel, our return to God seemed to be very short-lived. As the Lord's church, as children of God, we should hear the warnings of Joel, the pleadings of the apostle. As men of God, as ministers of His church, we need to remind His people that as long as there's life, that there's hope. You ever baptized somebody that was in their 90s? Have you ever taken somebody that was in a bed and took 6 or 8 people and picked the bed up and walked down into a swimming pool and baptized them on their bed in the swimming pool? Like that? As long as there's life, there's hope. And I've been fortunate to be present in things like that and see things like that. And it keeps me motivated. It keeps me not giving up. You know, because you go knock on doors. I'm from the Darien Church of Christ, and I would like to sit down and talk with you. Maybe set up a Bible study. And do you attend worship anywhere? Are you a Christian? If you ask if they're a Christian, guess what your answer is going to be? Yes, I am. Are you going to go to heaven? Absolutely. Do you go to church anywhere? Well, no. God and I, we have this special relationship going on. Don't they tell you that? We have this special relationship going on. God and I do. You know, it's kind of like God rewrote all the rules just for them. And they believe that with all their heart. Well, do you think that you might want to sit down in your Bible and let's just study a while? Well, let me think about it. I'll get back with you. That's their answer for saying, absolutely not, but I'm going to be polite and I'm not going to slam the door in your face. Okay? That happens time after time after time. But it does not mean that there's not people out there that will listen to you. One of the most exciting things that ever happened in my life is when a man and his wife came to the back doors at Darien, and they had 4 house-to-house, heart-to-heart publications in their hand. And they said, we've been receiving this because we send this out every other month to every household in McIntosh County. And they brought these 4 publications in, and they said, we've been reading about this, and we want to learn more about what this magazine talks about. And I said, you come to the right place. You come to the right place. And so they worshiped with us that morning. They listened to the lesson. We talked to them afterwards. I set up a Bible study with the husband because he insisted that he was probably the one that I needed to talk to first. And after getting to know them, he was absolutely right. But I spoke to the husband because he was really not too far away. He believed in God. And it was his decision to come and visit. He is the one that read those publications. You see? And I had hope. And I baptized him 10 years ago. He has preached for me. He and Tony both have. He lead singing for us. The funny thing about it is that first day that I met them, we were talking about the church and how that we have a cappella singing and that we don't have an instrument or anything. And she said, well, that's great. She said, but my husband can't sing, but I can sing real well. That's what she told me. I can sing, and she was not lying. She does sing real well. But she told me that her husband just, she says, he can't carry a tune. Well, you can ask Tony. He does. He's a pretty good song leader, isn't he, Tony?
Yes, he is.
Now I've trained a lot of song leaders in my life. Are you waving or you say I got 5 minutes? When I told the congregation at Gary that y'all were only going to give me 38 minutes to talk, they all laughed. They said, you're just getting warmed up in 38 minutes. But it's okay. I can hear 5 minutes, we'll go fast. But Purdy was baptized and became faithful and studied and teaches Bible classes, and he's really grown, and his wife was baptized, and we baptized 2 of his children, I think, and his daughter-in-law, that we baptized just from 4 little magazines from house to house, heart to heart. Isn't that hope? Doesn't that tell you that people are still receptive to the gospel? No, it might not have been you knocking on the door and saying, I'm Marty Broome, I'm from the Durham Church of Christ. That doesn't do much for them. And the reason it doesn't do much for them is because there's other religious people in that town that knock their doors on a weekly basis. Their doors are beat down. They probably have indentions in their doors because their doors have been knocked down so much. And so that doesn't appeal to them all that much. But there's other ways to reach people. How did Jesus reach people? Friendship evangelism. Everyone in this auditorium has someone that they know. Someone that they work with, someone they live next door to, someone that they're related to, and someone that they can talk to that likes him. Everybody might not like me. I might come across loud. Some people say I talk loud. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, I might come across loud and abrasive, maybe, possibly. But these people like you. They know you. They have respect for you. Who do you think is more apt to reach them? Me or you? You. You will. It doesn't mean that I can't reach people too. Because I've got people that like me too. Shocking, isn't it? They got it. They say, there's a chair right there. And I found it. They like me too, and they listen to me too. And so with the help of you and I, preaching the Word, and God giving the increase, aren't we planting the seed? It's amazing sometimes you can plant a seed. It might take a while for it to come up, for it to germinate. Tony can tell you all about that. And he taught horticulture in high school. But anyway, the children of Israel, they returned to God. Like Joel, we need to remind God's people that just as God sees our past, He sees our future. And if there's a message that we need to share, and church, there is a message that we need to share. Going into all the world and preach the gospel is not a suggestion. It's not something that you can do if you want to do, like many folks in the Lord's church feel. And I can say that because I'm 62 years old and I was raised in the Lord's church, and so I've seen lots and lots and lots of people that when you have door knocking days and you ask them to come out and you're a congregation of 400 people and 30 or 40 show up. And when you're in a congregation of 40 people, 6 or 8 show up, then that lets you know that everyone doesn't feel about evangelism as God feels about evangelism. When He says go into all the world and preach the gospel, He tells you to go into your world. And we all have a world that we live in. And we all have the responsibility to tell someone the gospel. And you might not have a degree in Bible, and you might not be a Bible class teacher or a preacher, but you know how you became a Christian, right? You remember what convinced you to become a Christian and be baptized. Tell them that. And then tell them how your life has changed. How your life was before and how your life is now, living for the Lord, and how blessed you are. You see, the message that we preach is a message of hope. You see, without Christ, without salvation, there is no hope. If Jesus had not come into this world, our world would be lost and without hope. The people in Joel's time, without God forgiving them and blessing them, were without hope. And our job, like Joel's job, is to share that message. And the only reason that Joel is called a minor prophet is because of the length of the book. It has nothing to do with the insignificance of his book. It was very significant. And there's other things that I need to talk about, but we ran out of time. And so, thank you very much for your attention.
Appreciate it, Marty. Thank you. Appreciate Marty and his enthusiasm. If it weren't for that, there might not even be a congregation. We appreciate him. Appreciate the lesson. We'll dismiss